Mexico. It's known for its rich culture and history. It's exported some of the best recipes in the entire world. And according to the Mexican government, figures stating that more than 400 national firms have now moved their manufacturing facilities from Asia to Mexico over the past year. So why is Mexico becoming an economic and manufacturing superpower? And what's next for Mexico? In this video, we will analyze the rising economic superpower that is Mexico. We will take a managerial and big picture view on this. The result of the pandemic has caused many US firms and firms across the globe to reconsider how they manufacture their products. Over the past year or so, you might have noticed that a lot of your clothes are now being made in Mexico. On top of that, electronics and automotives. This, of course, is due to many textile and apparel companies getting burnt on their products being stuck on ships or unable to even start production due to China's strict pandemic laws. First, to begin our story, we must talk about the 1994 NAFTA treaty, which opened a whole new realm of possibilities for Mexico. This allowed increased trade of American and Canadian goods from Mexico. NAFTA helped revive the struggling US auto industry. During the 90s and 2000s, cars became a lot cheaper to manufacture. This was a huge turning point for Mexico since it shifted from being a closed economy to a more open one. In 2020, the US doubled down on trade with Mexico, passing the United States-Mexico Canadian Agreement. This was a revised NAFTA, which included greater protections for intellectual property and increased labor standards for Mexican workers. Today, according to the US State Department, Mexico was the United States' second largest trade partner, resulting in global trade equaling $725.7 billion in 2022. Mexico's political system has been quick to increase and maintain key trade agreements, allowing U.S. companies to succeed. During the first 10 months of 2022, Mexico exported $382 billion worth of goods to the United States. This was, of course, an increase of more than 20% over the same period in 2021. This is huge, rapid growth of manufacturing, and a 20% increase in just 1 year is huge. As part of its efforts to strengthen supply chains and support American manufacturing, the Biden administration is promoting regional production, nearshoring. In January, during the North American Leaders Summit held in Mexico City, the US, Canada, and Mexico reached an agreement to enhance regional supply chains and encourage investment in sectors such as semiconductors and electric vehicle batteries. This, of course, has already taken full effect. In February 2023, the governor of the Mexican state of Nuevo León announced that the U.S. manufacturer Tesla was planning to establish a brand new factory in Monterrey Metro. This was a huge victory for Mexico. Mexico's pro-business approach has contributed to exports of many products, and including highly sophisticated products like Tesla vehicles. Tesla isn't the only US-based firm to draw a greater emphasis in Mexico. Walmart. A Walmart representative described the company's interest in Mexico as an effort to make its supply chain less vulnerable to troubles in any one region. In the beginning of 2022, Walmart purchased over 50,000 company uniforms worth over $1 million from a family-owned apparel business, instead of its typical suppliers in China. This was a huge win for Mexico. Such a small order, but it carried huge ramifications. It basically noted that Mexico could be relied on when called upon. Walmart now plans to invest nearly $1.5 billion in Mexico and Central America in 2023. Switching over to the other side of the ocean, Tijuana, Mexico. It's known for hosting one of the largest manufacturing centers for televisions and electronics. It's witnessing industrial parks operating at nearly maximum capacity, according to industry executives. In Ciudad Juarez, located across the border from El Paso, Texas, Recruiters are actively hiring employees for companies that are either establishing new operations or expanding existing ones, as evident from job fairs being held in the region. So why are many US firms interested in sourcing from Mexico instead of their typical China? What's special about Mexico? Well, Mexico has many key advantages here. It's a large nation with many young workers. With a median age around 29 years old, this demographic is advantageous for US and international firms. It means that Mexico has a large workforce that can contribute to the country's economic growth and development. Mexico also holds geographic advantages and being on the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. This allows the trade of goods to be easily accessible across the entire world, a key incentive for manufacturing growth. Not to mention, Mexico has an abundance of natural resources. The country is rich in oil, natural gas, and minerals such as silver, gold, and copper. We have seen a large job shortage that has caused many disruptions in the United States. Being able to hire enough people at our US plants to support our growth was a real challenge. That was a major interest for us to open a facility in Mexico, said Sam Rosen, president of Oilin Plastics. This is a Minnesota-based company, and it's now invested $10 million to set up a plant in the industrial hub of Monterrey, Mexico. Another famous American plastic toy company has already taken advantage of Mexico's manufacturing strength. Mattel, known for producing popular toys like Barbie dolls and Mega Bloks, invested around $47 million between 2020 and 2022 to expand its Monterrey plant, making it the largest manufacturing facility worldwide. The expansion was part of the company's efforts to restructure its global supply chain to increase output and productivity, while having direct access to the world's largest toy market in the United States. The workforce at the plant has now doubled to 3,500 employees. A representative of the Organization of Mexican Competitiveness, Oscar Campo, declared that Mexico is in the driver's seat and set to take advantage of a historic moment here. Mexico could replace China as the United States' key manufacturer. These are all examples that highlight the growing trend of international trade with Mexico. Mexico is rapidly becoming a manufacturing powerhouse. For all of Mexico's triumphs, there are some questionable approaches here. Mexico has a long history of nationalizing energy. Mexico nationalized its oil industry on March 18, 1938. The government seized foreign oil companies, including the American and British-owned subsidiaries Standard Oil and Shell, without providing any compensation. You see, Mexico does not have your usual BP oil or Shell gas station. It's all Pemex. Pemex has been criticized for its inefficiencies, corruption, and lack of investment, which has hindered the development of Mexico's oil reserves and overall economic growth. You see, the nationalization of electricity puts Mexico at a strange place in foreign investment. Investors see Mexico's energy practices as risky and unpredictable. Another major concern in Mexico is corruption. The past century has seen the Mexican government exposed for corruption practices, a massive deterrent for international trade. Corruption has been a long-standing issue in Mexican politics and government. Despite efforts to address the problem, corruption remains a challenge and is often cited as a barrier to economic development and social progress. According to Jeffrey Schott, a senior researcher at the Peterson Institute for International Economics, Mexico faces challenges related to government corruption, the rule of law, and public insecurity, which will hinder foreign investment in the country. He believes that these issues are primarily domestic in origin and are the main barriers to Mexico's success. The worst enemy to Mexico is itself. To think that Mexico will emerge as an economic powerhouse over the next decade is not that far-fetched. One thing is evident: Mexico is a proven dark horse with all the skills and all the qualities to become the next China. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to comment your thoughts on this entire situation. I hope you are liking this new format of videos, and like always, see you next week with another video.